to module 1. In this module, we're going to talk about what is it exactly that we mean by sex and sexuality. It's somewhat important that we get on the same page because we're going to be using these words a lot as we go on this journey together, and it's important that we are using the same language. What is sex? Now, a lot of people ask this question, and if you've ever Googled it or if you have looked it up in a dictionary, the answer is always something along the lines of sexual intercourse. And then you're like, wait, but what is that? And then if you look that up again, it might say penis and vagina intercourse. And I think a lot of times when people say they've had sex, that's usually the way that people refer to sex in popular culture, media, society, whatever you call it. And in reality, it is so much more than penis and vagina intercourse. There are so many different aspects that go into what sex can mean for an individual with their partner, whoever it might be. And so for this next, we're going to do a quick activity. And for this next activity, I want you to go get a piece of paper and a pencil. I'll wait here. Okay, great. You got your paper and pencil. And now I want you to, as we walk through the various aspects of sexuality, I want you to reflect on how important is each aspect to you and what comes under each aspect for you. And so this framework that we'll be using is called the Circles of Sexuality. And the Circles of Sexuality describes sexuality as consisting of 5 different circles. There's probably more circles, but we'll go with 5 for today. And as I describe each circle, I want you to draw the size of the circle depending on how important that aspect is for you, and maybe even write a word or two about what part of that you enjoy or what part of that comes as naturally to you. So we'll start with the first one. The first circle is intimacy. Now, intimacy is the emotional aspect that you'll often see people in relationships or in partnerships, especially when depicted in the media, they will be having somewhat of an emotional exchange when they're having sex, right? There'll be talking involved, there'll be touching, there'll be caring, there'll be secret sharing, there's trust involved. So those are all the emotional aspects. A lot of people have sex in order to feel closer to someone. And so intimacy is the first circle. Moving on to the next circle is sexual behaviors and practices. Now, sexual behaviors and practices refers to anything that you might do in order to express your sexuality. That can look like, of course, penis and vagina intercourse, like our dictionary told us, but it can also look like kissing, it can look like hugging, it can look like caressing, it can look like any act, or it can even be, honestly, not even an act. It could even be words you're saying that could comprise of how you express your sexuality. The next circle is sexual health. Now, sexual health is what your typical biology textbook will tell you sex is all about. Sexual health, reproduction, giving birth or not giving birth, trying to get pregnant, trying to not get pregnant, or trying to prevent getting an STI, all of those aspects would come under sexual health. Now, while these things are really important, they're obviously not the only part of sex, unlike what that textbook would tell you. Next circle we come to is sensuality. Sensuality refers to how sex is a multi-sensory experience, and the way in which sex allows you to experience things. It could be touch, it could be smell, it could be sight, it could be all sorts of other things that make the experience one that is in your body and not just one that is necessarily honestly, actually, I don't know. I was going to say not one that you only experience in your mind, but a lot of people experience sexuality in their mind as well, which is part of the body. So anyway, and then coming to our last circle, which is sexual identity. Now, when I say the word sex, sometimes people think I'm referring to sex like biological sex assigned at birth, something like that. But that is one aspect of the many different types of sexual identity one might hold. Sexual identity can be defined by who you feel or don't feel attracted to. It could be defined by how you see yourself in relationships, whether you consider yourself to be monogamous or not, and how you feel attachment towards others. And so as you pull back and think about these 5 different circles, I want you to think about how your circles might vary in size, might vary in composition, what you put inside each circle, and how, if you have someone in your life you can compare to mentally, even just based on conversations, how it might look different for different people.